Question 18. What is said of those who live to see the deliverance from modern Babylon, and the restoration of the true gospel?
Answer. Blessed is he that waits, and comes to the 1335 days. Dan. 12:12. Note, the 1335 days, years, of Dan. 12:12 are evidently a continuation of the 1290 days, years, of the previous verse, which commence with the taking away of the mediation of Christ, in the year AD 508. See under question 22 in reading on the Vicar of Christ, page 34. The 1335 days, or years, would therefore extend to the year 1843, the time of the preaching of the judgment hour, in preparation for the cleansing of the sanctuary, and the accompanying work at the end of the 2300 days, or years, of Dan. 8:14. At that time special blessings were to come upon those who were delivered from the errors and bondage of Rome, and had their minds directed anew to the mediation of Christ, as the great high priest in the heavenly sanctuary. General note on the prophecies of Daniel. The second chapter of Daniel presents in brief outline the divine program of history leading up to the establishment of the everlasting kingdom of God. The seventh chapter of Daniel presents somewhat more in detail the history of those earthly kingdoms which were to precede the establishment of the kingdom of God, the objective point of the prophecy being the little horn, and its effort to change the laws and ordinances of God, and to destroy the subjects of the heavenly kingdom. The period allotted to the supremacy of this power, the Papacy, the 1260 years, is also indicated. The prophecy of the 8th chapter of Daniel covers the period from the restoration era in the time of the Persian kings, and the establishment of the people of God in their own land, to the restoration era just preceding the second advent of Christ, and the setting up of his everlasting kingdom. In this chapter the leading theme is the effort of the Papacy to substitute its own mediatorial system for the mediatorial work of Christ, and the announcement of a prophetic period, the 2300 years, at the end of which the counterfeit system introduced by the Papacy was to be fully exposed. The remaining chapters of Daniel supplement the prophecies of the 2nd, 7th, and 8th chapters, and show that at the end of the first portion of the 2300-year period, the 70 weeks, or 490 years, Messiah was to appear, and be cut off, following which would come the destruction of Jerusalem. In the closing chapter 2 new periods are introduced, the 1290 years, and the 1335 years, at the end of which, as with the 2300 years, was to come the movement preparatory to the setting up of God's everlasting kingdom in the earth, in harmony with the prophecies of the 2nd and 7th chapters.